Hello there. Now, is it just me, or are the police arrogantly ignoring the general public while they pander to their new friends from over the channel? I'm going to show you a video of a guy being filmed by We Got It Back on X, his X handle being not far left at all, trying to report a death threat he's received, and the police seem more interested in confrontation.
Arrest me right now.
Just threatened to kill
What's
me.
he said he's done?
He's that guy that's just got off in the car, Warren Lascelles.
Well aware of who he is, yeah?
Yeah, has made threats to kill to this man here.
And in fact, if he wants to come and talk to us, I'll speak to him about it.
He just comes to talk to you and you've walked off.
He walked off. No,
He couldn't give a shit.
no, it's you.
It wasn't me.
He's just been telling you you'd go nuts.
You and the other one that just said he just threatened to kill me and you just went and
So what's...
he just went like that. You're dead.
It's on record, mate.
I'll tell you, I'll send you, I'll tell you what, I'll send you an email.
Tell me what he's done, then, and I'll record
He
it.
just pointed at me. We're doing it now, stop
We
it.
don't need to do it. I have to deal with this. aren't we?
Hey, look, he's still antagonising and now look, there you go, breach of the peace. Breach of the peace. Breach of the peace, still antagonising it. Right under your eyes.
Don't worry about it, right? If you ever come up to me and try to
Look,
arrest me,
breach of the peace, look at that, breach of the peace. Look at that.
if you ever try and arrest me up, sir, you'll have so much trouble there because
I'm not
you ain't
trying to
bothered.
arrest
You are absolute
I'm not-
disgrace.
I'm not-
You are a
I'm not
disgrace to
ignoring
that
what you're telling me.
uniform, especially you. Absolute disgrace.
You're entitled to your opinion.
I've
If you
told you my
okay,
opinion.
so-
Whoa.
So someone tries to say they've had a death threat and the police... I wasn't quite sure what the police's reaction was to it. Were you, Richard?
One of indifference by the looks of it, to be honest with you, Jeff. I mean, I may be reading this wrong, of course, but I mean, is that our finest there on the streets, Britain's finest?
Oh, yes.
Patrolling our streets, of course. And I just can't believe what is going on. Now, I know that there's a second part to this video, which is about to come up now, which I saw earlier. And it just goes to show the yin and the yang of the situation. Because what we have is police who are not interested in dealing with, well, it appears, I'm just saying that's the appearance, that's the optics, of course, right? I have to be careful what I say. Remember that, okay, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, so it appears as if you have a disinterested couple of police officers when somebody's presented with a death threat because, well, apparently because this person may be from a different demographic. And now, if that is true, oh dear, how far we have fallen in this country. Is it any wonder that we're at boiling point? Like, literally at boiling point. This country is just so ready to snap. Jeff, if you can, over to you, mate, sorry.
1 minute.
Yeah, over to you.
Before we go on to the next part of it, if you remember that video, the guy said he knew the name of the guy and the police said, oh, we're well aware of him. What? What? What's all this about?
Exactly,
You know, so they
exactly.
name the guy and they go, oh, yeah. But when we told you he was trying... No, this just doesn't add up. Unless the police are just absolutely ignoring, you know, sort of crime because they've got tweets to chase and things like that. Maybe that's what they've got to get down to the station quickly for, to chase people on their tweets and things. Don't know. I just find it absolutely ludicrous that the police would act in such an offhand manner. That guy's threatened to kill me. What?
Oh, yeah,
and,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
what? Huh? Hey, happens all the time, doesn't it, mate? You know? God, dear.
Well, there's a lot that's
Stephanie
happening all the
Turton-
time.
Yeah, and Stephanie
Yeah.
Turton says, where are you hiding, Jeff? I expect that's a reference to what happened recently, but I'm not hiding. But, yeah, so... Anyway, shall I show the next part of that video? Because when
Yes, go
he
for it.
finished sort of going for that, he noticed, the guy doing the video noticed something going on across the roundabout. So he ran across there, and this is what we catch now.
That's what it should have been. It shouldn't be. But don't grab me again like that.
Yeah, why do you think you can touch an old man like that?
Standing in people's way, then. Don't stand in my way. You're letting people up this too. He's entitled to move. He's entitled to move.
I think you should put your ego back in your pocket.
I think you should clear off. Where's the bag?
Don't talk to me like that.
Talk to you anyway I want.
That's fine, you can know my name. All of YouTube knows my name. That is absolutely brilliant, 17767.
No one's ever grabbed me.
You're a disgrace to yourself, you know. You're a disgrace. Boy, you're a disgrace.
That isn't where you were stopped. Excuse me.
You're actually blocking the exit of a C1 listed building. You're blocking the exit of a C1 listed building here. That's a breach of safety.
You can't do that. Oh, I can't. I can't. This is Altringham's ground.
And also, this is a C1 listed building that you're blocking the exit of, which is a policy act, Health and Safety
I've
Policy
been
Act.
brought up in this town all my life, and I've never been treated like that. Okay? You're not one of the nicest policemen, no.
They're all scumbags. A lot of you.
No, not all of them.
Don't you go to bed
One or
knowing
two
that?
good ones.
Says what, yeah?
Sleep very well, mate. Sleep very well.
Hey?
Sleep very well.
So you're a different lot to what normal.
Do you know, you are so arrogant and immature, you know.
You're not one of the nicest.
You're very arrogant and immature.
Yeah, well, I mean, I will agree with the old gentleman that not all police officers should be tarred with the same brush. We do know that there's some very good ones out there. But this does go to show that in that very location, you had one chap getting a death threat, no action. Next thing you know, across the road, you've got an old gentleman who's been a little bit ruffled up, apparently, by a police officer or moved about. Allegedly, that's what what that video suggests. Now, we don't know what flag they were holding or flying, and to be honest with you, I don't really care, as long as it's legitimate protest. But at the same time, you see some of the attitudes and the willingness of police to intervene in certain situations, yet... when you've got a man who has just complained of a death threat right across the road, nothing's done.
Yeah.
What's going on in Britain? Flipping heck.
No, that's the whole point, isn't it? That we are really descending into a pit of doom, aren't we? It's just ridiculous. Talk about dystopian. Every single dystopian book that's ever been written seems to have become an instruction manual for the police and the government and the civil service and everybody else. I just can't. Is there a way out of this now? Is there really a way out of this? A political way out of this? And I have to ask, you saw what happened in Ireland overnight. And you do have to ask, where are we going with all of this? It's not just in Britain either. So, yeah.
Well, what happened in Northern Ireland last night was disgusting. In Dublin, in Southern Ireland.
Yeah.
What happened in Ireland last night? Well, some pretty bad things have happened in Northern Ireland as well recently, but that's another matter entirely. So, what we saw in Dublin last night, where Ezra Levant was attacked by the police, where GB News film crew were attacked by the police. With pepper spray and trampled. I saw a video. One lady, I think I sent that to you, Jeff, and she was trampled on by the police. Blood coming up the back of her head. Oh, I mean, for goodness' sake, this is what I worry about because the optics on this are pretty damn bad, and this is in Ireland. Yeah. It's the attitude is now right across British police forces, and you're thinking, at some point, the respect for the police, if this carries on, I dread to think what will happen. I won't say what I think will happen, but I think you all know what I'm thinking will happen. And I think we're getting very close to it, very close to people just disrespecting the law in ways that they shouldn't, of course, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, well, there are two events coming up this weekend, which could cause a couple of problems. One of them is, it's one on Saturday, one on Sunday. Just got to get this the right way around. Saturday is the UKIP march in London, which had to be has already been redirected to stop an altercation. And then there's the hotel one in Southampton on Sunday.
But the thing is, Jeff, but the thing is that any altercation we know will not come from the British Patriots because they are instructed and told to be on their best behaviour. But as we saw recently in Southampton, you had women and children being attacked by other people, we'll say. Other people. Not police officers, other people. And that's why there's a lot of men going down, and women, incidentally, going down to support a further march on Sunday. As for Nick Tenconi and UKIP's march on Saturday, well, I mean, yet again, people are there to just show strength. They're not there to cause trouble. We have seen this time and time again. It always seems to be the other side that likes to instigate the trouble and even potentially agent provocateurs, which both you and I have witnessed in the past, Jeff.
Yes.
And these things do go on. But once again, look, Starmer and his cronies will be there trying to put the blame on the British Patriots as far right. You know, it's starting to get a bit, it's starting to wear thin. All this crap is, to be honest with you.
Oh, it is.
Go on,
And
go on.
At the end of the day, the Patriots generally tend to be loud and very.
What's wrong with that?
In some ways, they're very cheerful as well. In some ways, I went
Yeah,
to that
yeah.
pink protest, and all the pink ladies were dancing around to the music, having a right good old time, and it was the miserable bunch across the road that were. Yeah, so anyway, just a quick one. Thank you, Odette, for becoming a member. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Yes, indeed. Thank you.
Yes. They
More
have
people
been
who join the
recruiting-
better, incidentally. If you want to come and join the
Oh,
channel,
yes,
there's a
definitely.
join button
Yeah.
down there. Click on it, you become a channel member, you get some extra content, and there we go. Jeff.
Yeah. Yes, Alan Judd says they have been recruiting woke morons intentionally for years. Intentionally, I think, is the thing, isn't it? Yeah, DEI isn't so much about. I just think it's been used to just recruit the wrong sort of people. Not that the race or anything else. I'm not talking about that. I'm just thinking they look at people and go, "This is the wrong sort of person for this organisation, so we're going to have them."
Well, yes. I mean,
Yeah,
but look at the people who turning. Look, for goodness sake, Jeff, you have people turning up at people's doorsteps, right? So, but for what they've posted on social media,
Yeah.
and thank goodness, it appears as if that may be coming to an end. That whole scenario may be coming to an end. The Met are no longer going to be. That's just the Met, though, incidentally. Yeah.
I hope so. I don't want any
Yeah.
knocks on my door.
Well, we'll see what happens. Look, at the end of the day, Jeff, we've been waiting for the knock on the door anyway, because that's what happens. That's what happens. Hey, it'll only boost your profile, mate. That's all they'll do. If that's what they want to do,
I know.
then let them boost
Yeah.
Jeff Taylor's profile. Fine, whatever.
Yes, says Richard.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I never say anything controversial. Yeah.
As Liam Bream says, 10 million at the next Unite the Kingdom protest. Yeah, I'd love to see that. That'd be brilliant. Yes.
Well, I'd say something else. I'll go a lot further than that. Ben Habib said 1 million to get into power. 1 million advanced members. That's what it'll take, and they'll be able to get in. Why not make it 3 million? Why not?
Yeah.
It can be.
Yes.
Anything can be done. Just join up, sign up, get people to, even if you're going to vote reform and you don't want to split the vote at this stage, still join advance. You're building something you're building a bonfire effectively underneath any political party that gets in, whether it's reform, whoever, of what we will call sensible ideas. Okay, popularism they call it, I think, these days. You know, which I find the most strangest of terms, but there we go.
Yes.
If you want to change this country, join advance. Okay, even if you're going to vote reform, join advance. There we go. Sorry.
Yeah,
Jeff.
the whole thing about
I
this
deviate.
populism thing, if someone's popular because they do the right things for the people, it must therefore be the wrong thing. You know, I mean, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? You know, reverse psychology or reverse definitions and all this sort of guff.
Yeah.
And as Lee Wright says, you know where this is going. Well, I don't want to think, but I guess I know where you think it's going. So,
Yeah, well, we do know where
police
it's
are-
going.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
We do know where this is going, and it's looking scarier by the day, and it's not where we want it to go, which is why we keep pushing for political solutions. Now, there's somebody in the comments the other day said, Richard, the people of this country, the patriots of this country have had enough of the peaceable options. And they said, don't you understand that? I'm like, oh, I do. I very much understand that.
Yeah.
And that's the bit that scares me. And do you think that rage is not shared by myself? The anger is not there. There's nothing wrong with anger, getting angry. But know that there's something waiting on the other end, especially for people like Jeff and myself who can't say certain things on this channel. There we go. But what we will say is take the peaceable option, for goodness sake.
Yes. And thank you, Edward Goldentooth. When will this end and we are at peace again? I don't know, to be honest with you. It's just getting worse. I'll tell you another thing that's got worse. While these police officers are doing this sort of thing, we now have today, I don't know whether you've heard this, but yet another school lockdown. This from The Sun.
Yes.
It's carnage. School on lockdown over gunman with hysterical and sobbing pupils scaling fences in frantic bid to escape. And in the reports, because it's across media, it's talked about schools, plural, and that a lot of kids were put inside a sports centre and had to be locked into a sports centre for 2 to 3 hours, unable to contact their parents. Their parents were going ballistic. Are we going to just subject ourselves to this going forwards? Is this the new normal? Is this the price of living in a multicultural society? Is this what this is about? As if it is, I don't want anything to do with it.
Apparently so,
And that
Jeff.
doesn't mean
but
to
we-
say
but-
I'm leaving.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, Jeff, what it does mean is that we have to remain calm and collective and not get too angry. We should just accept. I mean, we should just accept it, shouldn't we, really, Jeff? Yes, I mean, this is all part and parcel of living in today's society. Multiculturalism, it works. We all know it works. We love it. And it's good for the morale of the nation. I mean, children, this little bit of a frenzied, potential, with children hiding into their desks. It's all really fun for them, really, isn't it? Oh, yes. Won't have any negative damage on their psyche whatsoever. No.
Playing a game of tag and hide and seek with an armed gunman sounds very interesting.
Yeah,
and
well,
exciting, doesn't it?
that's. I'm sure that's how it's going to be sold to them. At some point. At the same time, they're going to be told this is serious, so I can't really see it being sold to them that way. Look, we're just, we have to be careful what we say, but there's some things which are starting to push beyond what I think most people in this country will tolerate. And once that line is crossed, and we don't want to see it. We want them to sort this bloody mess out right now. Because honestly, look, Jeff, what have we had today? One in, the one in, one out scheme, ladies and gentlemen.
One in, one out.
One in, one out. Yeah, okay. Well, the chap who went out has just come back into Britain via another small boat. You couldn't make this crap up, could you?
Shake it all about. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
They're just. And you know what's going to happen? This guy who's come back in after we deported him to France, he's come back in. And if we deport him back to France, does that mean the French are going to send us another one in, one out? Do you know something?
Yeah.
I'm wondering whether it's a Tory. Did Robert Jenrick send someone across from the Tories to catch up with this guy and say, if you claim that you're being enslaved in France and come back, then you can stay and it will destroy the Labour plot?
Yeah, maybe there's some shenanigans going on there with Robert Jenrick. We're joking. We know Robert Jenrick wouldn't do anything like that. That's just. But you get the point here, ladies and gentlemen. And that is look, we have this. I mean, it's a farce. It's a total farce. This whole one in, one out scheme. We knew it was a load of rubbish. And I sent you a tweet today on X today, a post on X by his illustriousness Keir Starmer, where he's saying. Well, he's going to be having meetings with world leaders because of people crossing the Balkans, and there's been a major trafficking route, and he's going to smash the gangs. I'm sorry, Keir. Nobody believes an effing word you say. You're full of Nobody, honestly, nobody wants you as Prime Minister. You're not just a national joke, you're an international joke. A complete prat of the First Order. Nobody wants you as Prime Minister. Call an election, because from what I can gather, they could. I've just heard my tweets, but they could be talking about. There could be mass resignations coming within his cabinet, and not just within his cabinet, but other places as well. Also from the what's this? Good grief! The grooming gang inquiry. There could be further mass resignations from there. And you think,
but what Keir Starmer will do?
It's a joke.
If he has lots of resignations from his cabinet and he looks round at the sorry state of his MPs and goes, well, there's no one there that can do it, you know what he'll do? He'll appoint people like Tony Blair into his cabinet, make them all lords.
So would Farage. Farage wanted to have Tony. This is not a joke, ladies and gentlemen. Farage wanted Tony Blair to be the vaccine czar, to get everyone to take the arm intervention. This is all of them. It's just like this hideous club. And some people say, you can't. I was watching an interview with between Mike Graham and Andrew Gold, and he was saying, "No, don't believe all this stuff about Farage." And I'm thinking, no, I've seen enough of what Farage has said and done, his actions, for me to have a few issues. And I talking of Mike Graham, of course, he's just been suspended, not sacked. I think he's suspended by Talk TV over something that was posted on Facebook. From what I can gather,
Facebook?
is highly uncharacteristic. And I did get, because I follow him on Facebook, I did get a notification that he said, look, something terrible has been posted in my name. It sounds like he's been hacked. And there we go. But in some ways, if that is the case, then I suppose suspension from Talk TV is normal procedure. And I'm sure we'll see him back. I don't know, though, is the long and short of it. There we go.
Yes.
Jeff.
No, you're right. He's good. I like watching him, and I can't see him. I mean, not only I don't think he'd post anything like that, I can't see him being that stupid.
Well, no,
anyway,
he's not.
and,
he is too self-aware. Correct. He's too self-aware.
Yeah. And thank you, Sean Sutherall. It's important to get reform in at the next election to stop the rot, hopefully. And if they fail to keep their word, then we can vote for Advance UK later on. That's one route. But when I first read that, I thought it said to get reform in at the next election to stop the rat. That's what but I misread it. It was rot.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
but
the
same
thing is,
same thing.
thing is, it's like this. It depends when an election is. If an election is very soon, or in the next 2, even 3 years, reform will be in 2 years. Yeah, Advance is not going to be ready by then. I honestly don't believe it will be. But at the same time, look, Advance UK is the most important political party in Britain at the moment. Even though Reform, if there's an election rather soon, is the only potential party that's going to get in, and not just from the outside of the Uni Party. However, a lot can change in 4 years. Let's see where Advance UK is in 4 years' time before making a full commitment and judgment on that. And you could commit to supporting the party and pushing the party forwards. And then in 4 years' time, you can take a look and go, do you know what? The polls are showing Advance are getting very popular all of a sudden if they field candidates. Maybe we should vote for them, not just be members and supporters, but actually vote for them. And it's at that point, I mean, Ben Habib himself will have a decision to make at that point in time. I'm sure he'll find what I'm saying utterly disgusting and say, I'm sorry, no, I'm just going to field candidates and that's it. Reform can do it. And total respect to him in that respect, because he is the leader of a political, what soon will be a political party. But I think being logical and sensible, you have to read the room as it is at the moment. If there's an election tomorrow in the next 2 years, I'm afraid it will be an incremental change at best we can hope for via reform. That's it. Let's be sensible about this and have adult conversations about this. I mean, even Tommy Robinson.
This is British democracy. We have to shout and scream at each other and totally ignore the other side, whatever they say.
Sure. Yeah, I'll bloody well shout and scream.
Now, Samantha Smith has put up on. I put this one up. 5 English children in my granddaughter's class at primary school. I'm not up. What's the average class size these days? 30, even if it's 25. This is getting quite serious, I would say.
If
that's replicated.
Yes, that's the norm in many parts of the country. And there we have it. That's it. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? Oh, hang on. Are you actually thinking that? Oh, no, you can't say that. You can't think that because that's racist.
Yeah.
No, you can't think that, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you dare think that racist thought on the Jeff in front of the live stream on the Jeff Taylor channel, because we can hear your thoughts as well, and we'll be sending your thoughts, and your thoughts are being monitored. Indeed, they are. They're being monitored by His Majesty Keir Starmer. I mean, our Prime Minister Keir Starmer.
Yes, and Chris Dank says anger is a natural reaction to BS and injustices being inflicted. Yeah, and there's more BS by the day and more injustices. And then we have to suffer the likes of Ed Miliband and all his net zero stuff, and Rachel Reeves, who is doing her darndest to bankrupt the entire nation. What is it with these people? What is it with them? They try to micromanage every single little thing we do. And then the big thing is when we bring in digital ID, which you have to have in order to have work, then, everything will be hunky-dory as we tell you what you will work out, how long your hours are on, when you can have your lunch break. God, dear. Oh, here's a good one from Mike Dawson. Sometimes you Brits are much too polite. But then again, as an American, I got no patience. Well, I'm going to tell you, British patience is wearing darn thin at the moment.
Yeah, and that's the problem, you see, because British patience, the Britons are incredibly polite. I was watching a Joe Rogan saying the other day, look, you can push them. They're so nice, the British. But don't forget, if you push the British to a certain point, they will react and they will fight. I'm not saying physically, of course. No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't just say. Although I think he might have been referring to fighting, physically fighting, and Joe Rogan in that. But I'm not even thinking of physical fighting. Of course, I am just thinking of metaphorical fighting because everything I say and do is a metaphor, and I am a walking metaphor. And the Jeff Taylor channel is just one gigantic metaphor. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Now, Julian Collins says the police have become as arrogant as F. My father would spin in his grave as an ex-copper to see this sort of thing. Yeah.
I mean, the other day I saw a meme and it really got to me. I mean, it really got to me. And you had a soldier who gave his life in World War II. And he's there looking at a policeman like, what the hell are you doing? And, what are you doing? I died for this, for what's happening on the streets of this country right now. Go to France, see the white crosses, the graves there of men who died for police to just act the way that they're acting. For us men, so-called men of Britain, for us to have allowed what has happened in this country. I'm not saying we should be doing anything outside of the law, but we should be standing up, firm and proud, ensuring the safety of our women and children in this country. We need to do it. I need to do it more often. I need to find a way of doing that. You do. All of us need to do this. And I don't know how that will work. The only way I can really think of it working outside of a physical presence on the street is through the political route. And we have to push it, and it doesn't matter what anybody says about you or me, Jeff. At the end of the day, we have to keep doing what we know to be right. And yes, incidentally, turning up on the streets when you know that women and children are being attacked as men, yes, we should stand alongside them. Just to be a barrier. Just to be a barrier. We're not talking about fighting back. We're not talking about any of those sorts of things. We are talking about doing peaceful protection. That's it. And there's nothing illegal in that. And if there is something illegal in standing in harm's way to protect women and children, then this country is over. And we deserve to lose it at that point.
Yep, we do. We do deserve to lose it. If we can't protect our women and children, it is over. Now, one of the things I will point out that during the Second World War, a lot of police were killed, especially in places like London when the bombs fell, and they were expected to be out and about helping people, and and as well as the fire brigades and ambulance drivers and all the rest of it. I just think that today's police are letting the whole side down over this, spending too much time. Why have we allowed it to become so infested with woke? Yeah, and as Neem says, thank you very much, a soft touch will bring a hard correction. I wouldn't be surprised if Europe enacts anti-Islam laws and Islam loses its religious status afterwards. To be honest, it will take a hell of a big event to cause that. They're more likely to shut Christianity down, which they are doing now. They're more likely to do that than they are to shut anyone else down. So, yeah. So, I'm not sure that
well,
will
I don't know
happen.
if they could. I think people have woken up. People have woken up across Britain. People have woken up across Europe. They're not going to take the crap anymore. They're just not going to take it. And at some point, I think, look, we have to focus this, really focus. It's okay to get angry. As you can tell, I get bloody angry, all right? But that's okay. It's what you do with your anger. That's the important thing. Channel it into something positive. My main bit is doing this. This is what I do, okay? I try and channel it into getting people, encouraging them that there is a way out. There is hope for our children. There is hope for the future generations of this country. There is a way to reverse the terrible things that have happened to this nation and to Europe. There is a way. And we can do it politically and peacefully. And then you have to ask yourself, if harm is coming upon our loved ones, are we prepared to stand in the way? I'm not saying any more than stand in the way. And I think that's something that men of this country need to be thinking about. Will you just stand there? Just stand there. We're not talking about attacking. We're not inciting anything. What we're doing is we're trying to say, just protect. Take the blow for somebody else. That's what I'm asking.
Now, Homestead Life is saying something that I have said several times before, because I think we're leading to this. I really do. And it will be the first step for them. And that is we may need a two-state solution within England. Natives are becoming refugees within their former land. Yes, we are being forced to integrate into a new foreign and very unrecognisable country. That's the truth. We will be told you must integrate now with that, what this country has become. Not the country you wanted. Stuff that. It's not. You are not having that. You are having this new country, which we will build around you forcibly. That's where we're going. And in the end, I don't think the other side, they'll want their own, totally their own state within Britain. That's where I think we're going.
I can't see that working, to be honest with you.
They'll try. They'll try.
Yeah, it won't work. I mean, Dr. David Betts has covered this. I think what you'll start to see is civil war taking a certain route, and that route will be, I think he described it as urban versus rural. And that is how it will work. You'll find the cutting off, the blocking off of major cities and towns where, if there is a division, we'll say, that those people will, that supplies will be prevented from going in. It's all bloody hideous. Please, people, listen to me. Listen to me. Vote advance. Join advance, possibly vote advance as well. But join. Get people to join. Do it. This is the way forward. This is a positive action. I know so many of you. Look at me. I'm as angry as you are, believe me. There are things I would like to say and do. But do you know what? Let's use our brains. Let's use our minds on this one. Let's be as clever as serpents, as wise as serpents, I think it is. In the Bible it says, I think. I might be wrong. Let's use our brains on this one. Get people to join that political party. Push for it. Because otherwise, the other option, which is not really an option that any of us want, is the way that I'm afraid I think the cards will fall. And that's horrific. Horrific.
Yes, as Martin Goodman says, so we have to conform to them, own nothing, and be happy. Well, actually, the idea is that we conform, own nothing, and they don't care if you're happy at all. They just don't care one jot. So that's the real truth. And Rabbi Malachiah says, soon you'll hear that the English were never living in England, just as with Israel, where the story is that the Jews never lived there.
Yeah.
It was 1948. They all suddenly turned up and invaded the place, which is a load of CRA, whatever. So that's what we're already seeing it, aren't we? All your queens, none of your queens were white. And we had all these people over here, all your inventors were actually just painted as well. They weren't. You know, it's all a load of... You only have to look back at the films in the 30s, 40s and 50s of London to see the real truth. And that's not AI. That is just film footage from
Prove
those
it.
years.
No. It's AI. It's AI. It's got to be AI. No. I've seen some of that footage of the 1940s, 30s and 50s, and it's all lies. Even the 60s and 70s and 80s. You know, it's just lies. No. And I don't care if my own memory even tells me. You know, obviously I'm getting older now, so my memory must be fading of the demographic differences between London, for instance, in the 80s and 90s compared to what it is now. It's my memory. Yeah, things are exactly the same as they always have been. Yes, indeed.
Yes. No farmland, no food, says Dorian Gray. You're absolutely right. And we're going that way as well.
Well, that's the
Because,
point.
yeah.
That's the way that a civil disturbance, that's the way that a civil war will probably manifest in its strongest form. Is when you have people, for instance, I won't say which demographic, who have lived, say, in Britain for multi-generations, hypothetically, and they no longer feel safe in urban centres, and they don't feel that their children are safe in urban centres. So they move more to the countryside, and they try and leaving those urban areas then more sort of concentrated, like in the way that... Robert Jenrick described when he went the other day to, was it, I can't remember where it was, beginning with the letter H. Anyway, he was there. And he said, look, he hadn't seen a white face, you know, which is, you know, I mean, that's highly racist of him, I suppose, isn't it? Yes, of course it is. But anyway, so what you're going to start seeing is that division where water and food, all of a sudden, it becomes quite apparent to the people living in the rural areas that they have control over it. And that's how these sort of things, according to Dr. David Betts, that's what I'm saying. I'm not giving a manual here for anything. I'm saying that that's what Dr. David Betts has described, you know, the infrastructure breakdown and control of in civil disputes and civil disturbances. And you can imagine it. You can imagine... how this will play out. But again, if you do stop the farmers, look what they've done to the farmers. Look what's happened to them. I mean, I was reading today that the Welsh government, you know, they give this pamphlet out or whatever it was, and it was saying how eating meat creates such a distinct and hard carbon footprint. What? Shut up. Just shut up. These people want us eating, not just, I say eat the bugs. It's not just eat the bugs. They want you vegan. They don't even want you eating bugs. They want you eating this Frankenstein meat. I've tried some of this Frankenstein meat. I've tried being vegan. It's, the only way to describe it is dead. It's like eating death. It's the strangest thing ever. Jeff.
Yes. No, I agree with you, and that's where they want us to go. They just want us eating chemical foods out of a chemical factory. The trouble is, though, that takes lots of energy, and that's going to drain our electricity supplies even more. Of course it is. And if you don't know, there are huge data centers cropping up everywhere across the world to deal with AI, and these data centers are hugely water and electricity reliant. The amount of power it takes to keep those things running is immense. I think the first time I read about it, it was 2% of the world's electricity goes into these data centers. The latest estimate I've had is 5%, increasing fast. So soon you won't be able to have the lights on because you'll be on your computer trying to make an AI something. And that's where we're going with all of this. Anyway, I've just seen something that surprised me from Corky. This is the first time I've heard of Advance. Well, Advance UK, go and give it a Google.
Sorry, but that, I mean, no. That's absolutely correct. Sorry, Corky. A lot of people probably haven't heard of Advance. if they had, they'd probably vote for him.
I'm joking.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, but this is the point. A lot of people still haven't heard of Advance. Now, most of you watching this may have heard of Advance, but not all of you. And this is the point. We are talking, if you don't know who Advance UK are, they're a party set up by Ben Habib, who was formerly, was he deputy leader, wasn't he, at one point?
No, it was
Or was he
deputy
chairman?
co-leader, I think. Deputy co-leader or chair, something like that. Of
Yeah, something like.
Reform
Anyway, he was
UK.
high. He's bloody high up. He was. There we go. And yeah, I think he was deputy leader, wasn't he? Or was he chair? Or whatever. Anyway, he's a bloody good man. He's very clever. He's cleverer than Jeff and I are. And he's a decent chap, and he's far more decent than Jeff and I are. He's, you know, you
Well,
wouldn't
that's
have
not
Jeff
hard.
or I. No, I mean, you wouldn't have Jeff and I running political parties because we're far too corruptible. Easily, you know, it's like, we're the people, right, we get told that we're shilling for Israel and that we're stooges and we're paid opposition, all the rest of it. Well, no. Right, listen to me now. We're trying to shill for Israel. We're trying
But
to
they
get
won't-
paid opposition.
They don't
but
pay
nobody
us.
will fund
They don't
us.
pay
They won't
us anything.
Ah. Nobody will pay us. Nobody will take us up on the offer. Like, here we are. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. It's a joke, by the way.
Now, Rebellion has come up with a question that has to be answered. Why isn't Advance got a candidate in the by-election? Because their official political party documentation hasn't come through from the Electoral Commission. Until that happens, they can't stand candidates. But as soon as it does happen, they can start standing candidates. I'm not sure when that will be, but I would, should be within the next month or two, I would have thought, given how quickly Corbyn's Your Party got qualified. All that's probably because it is Corbyn's Your Party.
Well, the thing is, I've been thinking about this. I mean, like with the Caerphilly by-election, if the election coming out in Caerphilly in Wales, if Advance were ready, there's a very small margin in this. Would it be splitting the vote? We have to be adult about this and have this conversation. Would it be splitting the vote? And the way I see it is that if Advance UK is at a point where it could split the vote, Reform will have to ensure that nobody votes Advance. How would they do that, ladies and gentlemen? This is the key point. How would Reform ensure that nobody votes Advance UK? By taking any policy that they give and doing one-upmanship continuously. So this is the beauty of Advance UK. It is changing the Overton window already, even before it's a political party. Just as the Unite the Kingdom movement has already done, just as Restore has done under Rupert Lowe. The Overton window is changing. So, and this is the beauty of it. So please, have a think. Think about Advance UK. It's the most important political entity in the country at the moment, even more so than Reform, which I do hope, part of me thinks, okay, maybe, just maybe, there is the chance that Reform UK is not another expression of the Uni Party. Please. Yeah, I don't hold much hope in that one. But just allow us some freedom of speech. That alone would help. Even if we're not going to get let's just say, the rearrangement of demographics that most people in this country want, even if we're not going to get that under Reform, at least we'll be able to discuss it properly. And a party like Advance can emerge within that soil, within that environment, which would offer the British people what they want. Jeff?
Yes. No, we got some serious thinking to do as we approach this next election, because I get this feeling, we've said it before on this channel, I don't think it's going to last until 2029, that's for sure.
No.
I think the wheels are coming off, and it's going to get worse and worse. I think Starmer's going to go. Starmer himself is going to go, and whoever replaces him is either going to be the same or even worse. So I can't see things getting any better. Anyway, Lord Viking says, red wine or a pint? Question mark. Both.
Yeah. Pint. 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 Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Jessup says, I love advance and Ben. And Edward says, reform, then advance. So, you know, it's... Oh, Lady Fury's come in. Yes, with Lord Viking wine, please. Is he buying us around?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this one's a good one. Do you remember that? The Monster Raving Loony Party would do
Still
a better
going.
job,
Yeah, they're
says
they're still
Heartjar
going.
63. Yeah. And there was there was an article on there ages ago about some of the lunatic policies they had, like all-day pub opening and stuff like this. And a
Free
lot of
ice
their
cream for
loony
everyone.
policies.
Yeah, but the thing is, here's a question though.
Seem
Here's
to
a
have
question.
come to fruition.
People talk about advance splitting the vote. What about the Monster Raving Loony Party? What about those? What if there is a by-election hypothetically tomorrow, and the Monster Raving Loony Party field candidate, a candidate there, and yes, they only get a very small amount of votes. But what if that small amount of a vote was enough of a margin to tip the election? Have a think on that. Loads of things split votes. Jeff.
Yeah. Actually, I'd love to see every single party stand aside in just one constituency for the Monster Raving Loony Party. Just in one constituency, just to see what would happen.
Now, there's a political party you and I could do well in, Jeff, actually. I think we should,
Absolutely, yeah.
I think we should be looking to take that one over. Who would vote for us?
Yeah.
Who would vote for the Monster Raving Loony Party if Jeff and I? In the comments now. Who would vote for us? Come on. All right,
And the other one, do you remember in the last, I think it was probably the last London mayoral vote where they had Count Binface as well, who went around with this bin on his head with a slot.
Yeah. Well, Lady
Oh, dear.
Fury has said that she would vote for us. Martin Goodman, he'll do it. Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic.
Looks like Mr. Chef is saying, yeah. Oh, he's replying to someone else. Sorry. Yes. Yes.
Edward Golden Tooth, is that he'd vote for us? Yeah. Well, there we go.
Well, that's it.
Looks
We got 5 votes. We got 5.
Yeah. It's a start. It's a start.
Yes. I think if we got it, it'd be the finish.
Yes. Oh, yeah, we're very good at ending successful things, you and I, Jeff.
Definitely, yeah.
You and I can take a good idea and utterly destroy it.
Correct. We've done it so many times. Yeah.
Yep. With all the potential in the world, it was all looking great. And then we thought, I know, I've got a good idea. Famous last words from Jeff and myself. I've got a good idea. Oh.
Now, Sans the Hedgehog says, if I wasn't in the US, maybe. But if we go over to the US, would you then vote for us for president?
Yeah. Right. Anyway. So, yes, going back to the point of this video, what was the point of this video? Oh, yes, our police force.
The police. Yeah.
Yes, and you can see the way that they're reacting and behaving. It's so sad because I do know, a lot of people join the police force for very noble reasons, wanting to do the right thing by their country. But then again, unfortunately, there are those people who join the police force because they want to do the right thing for their country in what they perceive to be and by the way, yes, I have got a clothes peg here. My pen is missing, and I found my blue pen is missing because I'm in a different location, so I had to find a clothes peg to wave around at you. And there we go. And yeah, but there's so many people who join the police force because they think they're going to do the right thing for the country and according to their morality. And that's the danger, because a lot of them are quite clearly woke, and that is the sort of demographic that they'll be looking to recruit. I mean, we've seen, years ago, if you were a policeman, you could be able to, you were the biggest prop forward. A lot of prop forwards were policemen, incidentally. These were big lumps, these were. And they could do what needed to be done, and people respect them, surely because of their physical intimidation. And you think, oh, I wouldn't want to mess with them. Correct.
Yeah.
And now you sort of, you get a knock on the door and it's like ding dong. And they go, we'd like to question you about something you've written on social media. And you're like, oh, hello. It's not trick or treat, is it? Are you not dressed up? Oh, okay. What's your name? Oh, right. Okay. What was your name again? Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. No, I'm sorry. Can you say that again in English? Oh, right. Okay. Oh, I'm under arrest now. Okay, fine. Okay. There you go. Handcuff me. Yeah, that's the way it's gone. That's the way it's gone. And is it any wonder we're in the state we're in now? I mean, people have. Here's the thing, right, Jeff? Those people, those officers we saw now, right? They didn't look to me like the finest physical examples of what a police officer years ago would have looked like. So if somebody has made a death threat, they're probably thinking, oh, do you know, I just want to go home. You know, I want my tea and biscuits, and I want to put my feet up. I don't have to deal with that guy, but he's making death threats. He could be dangerous. Oh, I don't know if I want to do that there, Jeff. That could be hard work. You know, and that's where we're at. Yep. That's where we're at. It's just maybe they're just too intimidating. So there we go, Jeff.
Yeah. Well, I remember watching some of these police videos of when they were breaking into there was this big thing. There's 5 big guys, mashing around a door. They had the chainsaw out, knocked on the door, no answer. Down went the buzzsaw, broke in, flying through the house. Then you find out that the house they've just broken into, the guy there had tweeted something.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And you're looking at it going, you really did that? You know, and they were showing it, weren't they? Yeah. But they wouldn't do that if it had been, I don't know, someone of a certain demographic. They'd have had to have got one of the elders to give them permission to even enter the area, you know.
Yes, exactly. No, but one of the things that just...
Oh, sorry, Lord Vikings found your blue pen.
Ah, thank you. Anyway, yeah, it's in my previous location. I'm sort of decamped and trying to start something else here in a new location. The thing is, it's like you see these people. A lot. I've saw the arrest of was the arrest of the withholding the confiscation of the Paul Golding. Not saying I support that Paul Golding's party or anything, but I'm just saying I watched it, and I was shocked at the way that the police just looked at him, and I've seen that look in a few police officers and during these arrest cam videos, just like looking at you like you're nothing, you're absolutely nothing, and you feel it's a very dehumanizing thing. Now, I remember years ago, some of the coppers I used to know, they're fantastic people. I still got friends who are coppers now, and they're brilliant people, brilliant. But there's a certain type, as you rightly said earlier, Jeff, there's a new sort of breed that have come in, and it's like woke now has a physical presence on the streets, and it's watching you. That's what I'm trying to articulate. And they can see you, and that presence could invade your home at any point in time. And that's scary. That's scary. That woke is walking the streets now. Policed.
Yes.
Policed wokeism. Oh.
Yeah, Lord Viking asked, how about Lawrence Fox's party? Actually, if I remember rightly, Lawrence Fox said of his party, Reclaim, that he wouldn't be standing any candidates. He wants to be a pressure group. I'm not sure if that still stands. That's the last I heard. So
maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure what Lawrence is intending. I mean, it's shelved. It's there. It exists. It has a name. I think it's registered with the Electoral Commission. I believe. I might be wrong. Yeah, sorry, you just put it up there now, Slim. Unite the Right. That's exactly correct. And don't think there isn't a place in any of this for Nick Tenconi. He's a very important man in this country right now. A very brave young man. And
yeah,
I want to see the right united. Good grief, we need it. So I thought if we could rearrange the deck chairs and create your perfect parliament, what would you have? How would it look, Jeff? No, really, how would it look?
How would it
I'll
look?
tell you. Yeah, this is what I think. I think Ben Habib is Prime Minister. I think Rupert Lowe as, I don't know, Joint Prime Minister. It's very difficult. They're both very good. They're both brilliant. But I think Ben has got the edge in terms of statesmanship and restraint. And that's an important thing as well. At the same time, Rupert Lowe, oh, good grief, he'd have to have some position like Foreign Secretary, possibly. Tommy Robinson, Home Secretary. That would work. Okay. Can you imagine that? Okay. Andrew Bridgen, definitely Health Secretary. That would have to happen. That would be a must. And then, of course, you've got Nick Tenconi, who I personally, now I have rearranged the deck chairs on this, I put him down as King. King Nick. Because he would be a defender of the faith. Absolutely.
Or you could make him Archbishop.
There is that. No, there's a few others. I think,
Yeah.
I don't think we need archbishops anyway. Yeah.
Now, what I will say is, you mentioned Tommy Robinson there. Have you all watched that debate? Or he was being interviewed by what channel was that, Richard? Two women.
Israeli channel. Yes.
Yeah, an Israeli channel, and I can't remember the name of it. Should have written it down somewhere. But you listen to him, and he is speaking. Tommy Robinson is speaking more sense on Gaza, Israel, Syria, Iran, Yemen, and all the rest of it, and the Lebanon, than the whole of our political parties can. He knew. I've read up a lot, and so has Richard, on this. And as I listened to him, I thought, it's the first time I've heard someone that I can absolutely wholeheartedly agree with on this, because he went into it in great detail. Now, I haven't heard Ben Habib talk in that way about it, and I'm hoping he will at some stage. I may have missed it, but I don't think any of the others, especially in the mainstream parties, they're all still on. They're all talking, this two-state solution that doesn't exist. They don't understand the position of Iran and the massively horrible regime it's got running it. And Tommy was there. He was talking about the West Bank. He was talking about the Golan Heights, and he was talking about Gaza and the people there.
He's educated himself.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
he's educated himself on the geopolitical environment, on Middle Eastern politics. There's it's been going around on X. A few people have been sharing it, and in it you see an elderly-ish Iranian chap, and he's confronted by a pro-Palestine youngster who says, what do you think of Palestine and Gaza? And this elderly Iranian chap goes, forget Palestine, forget it. And he's like, well, what don't you understand? Kids are getting killed there. And he's like, yes, I do understand that. It affects me too. But the point is, who's at fault? And then this young chap said, Israel. Is like, no. Again, this is the unfortunate situation where you have a lot of youngsters who all they know is bombs fired from missiles fired from Israel, kill children in Gaza. That's the end of it. That's all they understand. That's all they are capable of absorbing and processing without knowing the nuances of the actual situation. It's a proxy war. It's Iran's power play. Hamas, the Gaza war, Hamas, Gaza versus Israel war is the same as the Houthis, Israel, as Hezbollah, all funded by Iran. Please understand this. Or not just Iran, incidentally. There's a few other countries who are funding that as well, and a few other organizations. But this is mainly Iran. And it's a power play between them and other Middle Eastern countries like Saudi. These are pawns in a little game that's far away from them, knowing full well that Iran is probably not going to get fully struck by Israel. Okay, that's not going to fully happen just yet. They know that they did have at least China and Russian support, but that's apparently starting to wear thin now. But the point here is people don't realise the real true situation of what's taking place in the Middle East. But Tommy Robinson does. He's educated himself. And Paul Thorpe said in a live stream, was it, I think it was Sunday, he said, look, just look at Tommy, how he has come along. You know, the documentaries and the videos he's been making out in Israel have been breathtaking, intelligent, thoughtful, well put together. And I'm like, wow, he has come along leaps and bounds, has Mr. Robinson. So when people used to laugh and joke when people were saying, oh, yeah, Tommy for PM, you go, he does seem quite statesmanlike at times these days. Jeff?
He does. Yeah, he's a flawed man, but
We all
actually, maybe that has led him to do things that he's learnt hard lessons from. And he's now...
Well, we all do, yeah.
done the- yeah.
We all
But maybe
do.
he's learnt... He's gone through more of the University of Life than most have.
No, well, that's exactly right, though, Jeff, because none of us are perfect. I'm certainly far from perfect. If you're looking for an example of a good Christian man, don't look here, okay? I'm a deeply flawed human being, just like you probably are watching this. We shouldn't be looking for the most virtuous and moralistically pious people. We should be looking for the dirty angels, the ones whose wings are muddied but washed clean.
Yeah. No, you're right. No, he's a good man. So, yeah. Yes, and there's a lot of support for him here as well on the chat. Yes. So there you go. I think, yeah, it would be good to see Tommy inside the political circle somewhere. I'm not sure he wants to stand or anything like that. I don't know where his mind is on that. But he definitely wants to play a part in rescuing this country and rebuilding it into what we think it should be. Not what I don't care what the people of the World Economic Forum want our country to look like or be like. I don't care what the United Nations thinks. I don't care what people in foreign lands think about how our country should be for them. I worry about what it is for us who live here. And that's the big crucial point that most people seem to miss. Ben Habib explained it perfectly. This is a battle between those who believe there are no borders and should be no borders, and you have no country and nothing and no belongings, and people who believe in their little local community and their country as the best way of forging their life going ahead. I don't believe that a one world type government setup is going to do mankind any favours at all. In fact, I've said it before, it's like competition in sport, competition in retail, competition in anything you do for promotion or whatever it is. We need a competition of political systems and country systems so that we learn off of each other and take what we want in our area to take it forward. That's what we need to do. It's really important that we do
lead
have
by example
our own
as well.
setup.
Yeah, we need to lead by example. Instead of saying, right, we'll just open the doors to everyone and everything. It's like, what we do is we say, this is how you build a decent and successful country. Sorry, Jeff, I'm going to sneeze. My nose is a bit itchy a second. Yeah, sorry.
Right.
Yeah, but, that's the way we should be moving forward, is just trying our best to show the rest of the world. If you want to help people in other countries, show them a successful country. Let us be that successful country, and let us be Christian at the same time. Let us show people what a Christian should be like. Let us try to better ourselves, okay? Because, I can sit here and say, look at me, I'm a crap Christian, I'm no good, don't look at me for an example of a good Christian. At the same time, I should be thinking, I do need to do something about that as well, really, don't I?
Yeah.
I do need to try and improve myself. We all need to try to improve ourselves. Instead of saying that anything goes, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you think, how you behave. It's all relativistic, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone. Remember that phrase, Jeff? That thing that people say, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone. Well, ultimately, abandoning your Christian heritage abandoning your morals and losing your moral compass through relativism does hurt people. It does create the society that we have today, where people are just, there's nothing left in them. Society's become hollow. Have you noticed? I've been, as you know, Jeff, been a musician most of my life, but have you noticed how uninspiring music has become?
Yeah.
There's just, I'm like, has it all really been done? Have we reached this point in time previously in human history where music just didn't progress? I'm sure there must have been a few points where music didn't progress, but we just seem to have plateaued. There's no great creativity taking place that excites me. And believe me, I listen to a lot of contemporary music as well, but nothing's going, oh, wow, listen to that. And you think, yeah, we've lost our way in so many different things in the arts. We watch Netflix. It's like, it's literally like having your brain removed. And you just like, yeah.
Most films these days are a rerun of an older film. You know,
every story has already been told. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about it, the Greeks, I think it's the Greeks set the example and the mold of how the format, and a tragedy, a comedy, etc. This is the format that was presented to mankind, back in the times of the ancient Greeks, and they knew that. And from that, there's like those different plays and different permutations from which all entertainment stems today in terms of films and theatre and novels. All the concepts were there. That's something to remember, that is. But why aren't we trying to push forward? Why do we need, again, AI? Jeff, I use AI quite heavily in terms of research, and I always question and I find that it's very good at coming up with errors.
Always question it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But the thing is as well, you learn more from AI's errors than you do from where it's correct. That's the other side of it. But why aren't we pushing forward?
Makes you read more widely, doesn't it?
Yes, well, yeah. But we need to be, come on, people. We need to think. We need to get some spirit going. This is why I'm looking at Advance. You're thinking, well, what's Advance got to do with any of what you just said, Richard? It's got everything to do with everything. We just need to reset. And he's talking about the Great Reset here, love. I'm turning off. I'm not listening to this crap. No, I'm not talking about the Great Reset. I'm talking about reset ourselves back to a baseline of creativity, of enlightened thought. And I'm not talking about the Enlightenment, incidentally. I'm talking about returning to Christian original thought. There we go. And that might sound oxymoronic to some of you, but there we go.
Yes, and Dorian Gray quotes from George Orwell's 1984. Every record has been destroyed or falsified, every book rewritten, every picture has been repainted, every statue and street building has been renamed, every date has been altered. That has already happened. And AI will be rewriting our history going forward, and there won't be enough people around to check up whether that history is correct or not.
How do we know if our history is correct now? Yeah. This is something I keep going back to. How do we know that? I'm not suggesting it is, but let us just open our minds for a moment. And you're probably thinking, oh, Richard's proper lost it tonight. But no, let's just look at the timeline of history. We are told that this is correct. Okay, we are told by authoritative sources that are unquestionable that this is the timeline, that it is correct. That's how things unfolded throughout history. And it is the same establishment sources that told us that an armed intervention would be safe and effective. Okay? Yeah. The same authorities that told us the Iraq War was a justified war. There's so many examples of this. There's so many things that have taken place that were incorrect. And then you start looking at the historical timeline, you go, I don't know, maybe Jesus drove a car. I don't know. I'm just coming up with something like that, but who knows, who knows what was going on? Who knows what's been rewritten? And the only thing I suggest it hasn't possibly is the Bible. And not possibly, I don't believe the Bible's been rewritten. And that's my faith. There we go.
Yes, well, Graham Holiday says, Dark Side of the Moon said it all. Now that was a piece or a set of music. Yeah.
That was brilliant. Yeah. And how
that was groundbreaking.
Yeah, and everything under the sun is in tune, but the sun is eclipsed by the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to know that.
Yes.
That album word for word.
Yes.
But
Brilliant.
but Sid Barrett was my hero growing up. Sid
All
Barrett.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. That explains a lot to some of you. If you know who Sid Barrett was.
Yes. And then there's remembering that cellar in the book War of the Worlds. Yes, when they were trying to dig make a big cavern for mankind.
In a brave new world, we're just a handful of men. Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah, most of the good musicians are currently so old they're leaving. Actually, it's quite funny. When you actually look at the bands, you know, music isn't something you just sort of pick up in a couple of years. It's something you get better and better at as you go on in life, and you can see it in some of these old musicians, and you can see it in bands as they get more mature and they play their old numbers in a much, what's the word? What's the word? Not complicated, but it has more in it as they get older. That when they replay until they get to a certain age where they're on the edge of death and they can't do anything. But as they get older, their stuff becomes better when they redo it. But there you go.
Well, sometimes what's interesting is timing. Timing can waver, but there's a strange thing that happens with timing as musicians get older. It changes. It doesn't. I've noticed people play less on the beat, for instance, and less in time, but they play outside or ahead or behind. But that's not necessarily an error. That's a learned process of a style of playing. So that's one thing I've noticed is preciseness is lost.
Yeah. When you look at some of these music making machines you can get, or when you use beat machines, they actually do have not a dither, what's the word? They have where they offset some of the notes just very slightly so it sounds like a human played it, not a machine. And that's all built in if you just press a button on it. So yeah, they're trying to make AI do all the things that humans do.
Oh, it's getting
now, there
very
was
good.
one comment here. Was a comment here, and it's about, here we go. A woman who poured her coffee down a drain and got fined 150 quid. Because they said they were saving the drainage system from polluting the waterways or something. What? Yeah, that I read that this morning. I thought, what on earth? Thanks for reminding me, Peter Small. Yeah, thanks. But
But that doesn't surprise me, Jeff. I mean, look what's going on right now in this country. Yeah. I mean, that's it's indicative, really, of the state of affairs here in the United Kingdom. One thing I did find interesting was something that the Jolly Heretic said the other day. I don't know if any of you watched him with the Podcast Eaters the other day. It was quite amusing. Quite a character, to say the least. But one thing he did say on, yeah, you've been interviewed by him, Jeff. Yeah, But the one thing that was very interesting that he said was, as you get older, apparently you get more intelligent. And this is something that was unexpected, and it sort of levels off. I think at around sort of, I don't know. It keeps going. I can't remember, but it's definitely all intact right the way up to about 50 to 70. Obviously, sometimes you have dementia and things creeping in, but intelligence itself, though, apparently progresses. So as you get older, you get cleverer. I certainly have. That's for sure. I was as thick as pig when I was younger, and how things have changed, ladies and gentlemen.
Have they?
Jeff's doing live streams on his own from now on, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. Yes.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Yes. Anyway, I think we've dried up now, but
yeah, I'm ready to go.
Really getting back to point, I just despair what's happening with all our establishment bodies, especially the police. They have so much power over us on which they can exercise, and most of that power derives from the fact we don't know what their powers really are. So when they told when Tommy went to court, just this last court case that I was at, his barrister asked the police and said, when you stopped him and you told him to wait in a specific area, what power did you use to do that? What power did you have to do that? Where was it written down you could do that? And the police officer was not sure, let's put it that way. And the barrister said, so if he'd just driven off, how could you have arrested him to stop him if you didn't know what power, if you had that power? In fact, the barrister was arguing he didn't have that power in the first place. And if he's right, yeah, that would be a very serious position to be in, because they kept him for 40 minutes, 25 minutes in one place and 15 in another, something like that. And they couldn't say, well, I had this power under that, and that. They just didn't know. And if they don't know, and they think they can just stop you, and you think they can just stop you and search you, demand this, demand that, then just think of the power that they have when they haven't really got it. That's the worrying thing for me.
Yes. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of tonight's video. I'm afraid we will not be doing a members one straight after this one tonight. We won't. I've got to get myself all ready. I've got to do a few things tomorrow early and be on the road. Yes, I've got to be taken back to where I'll be staying tomorrow night. And there we go. So God bless you all. Please do like this video. Press the like. If you haven't already, press the like button. Please do it now. And then subscribe. Yes. And if you really like what we do, become a channel member, where we have a nice little chat a lot of the time after we do our live streams or whenever. And you get extra content anyway. And there we go. And God bless you all. Yep. And over to you, Jeff.
Yep. Yes, as Richard says, it's been really great just chatting to you and seeing the comments come through and having a little laugh as well about various things. Because you've got to have a laugh while all this is going on. The country's collapsing. Yeah. We've got to have a laugh still somehow, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
But
I mean, we've got to be able to have a shout and a scream as well. That is so important. Because I know a lot of you watching this now will be feeling varying degrees of anger over what's happening. Yeah. And you have to be able to get that out there. I do it. I don't hold back. And you shouldn't have to hold back either. But obviously do things within the framework of the law. Shouldn't be stepping outside of it. Very, very naughty.
Oh, no, definitely
Mr.
not.
Starmer's watching. He's waiting for you.
Yes.
He's emptying prisons full of very nasty people right now, just for you and me.
Yeah.
So we just got to remain within the framework of the law.
Keep off that Twitter, keep off that X, keep off of Facebook. Don't say anything nasty.
Thing. Yes, yes.
Anyway,
yes.
Always have a good laugh and go to bed safe. And on that note, I'll say it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from him, from Mr. Jeff Taylor. Goodbye.
Goodbye.